What's up everybody? Good evening and welcome to the next What's Up vlog. I'm not even going to attempt to say what number it is because I have no idea. 90 something I think. We're back on Zwift. I'm very pleased to say. I'm already out of breath because I've just been doing a bit of a warm up, but obviously I missed the last race. I've been a little bit unwell. My legs feel like jelly. And this is going to be an interesting test. This is the next round of the WKG Racing League, round 13. And despite what the race description says in the event module, this is not Box Hell. This is 69th Street. The reason it's called 69th Street, for anyone that hasn't worked it out, we're doing 3 laps of the full UCI Richmond course. And the KOM bonus is going to be awarded to the fastest combined times of the 3 climbs up 23rd Street, so hence the 69. So you can't just oh hello D Bruce, thanks very much for the ride on. You can't just blast it up the climb on the first lap and expect to get some KOM bonus points. It's going to have to be all 3 times up that climb. It's only a short climb, but the combined times of that will determine the KOM points for each category, so that's the reason for the name. But anyway, good to be back on the bike, good to be back talking to you all. I've got obviously a nice new jersey, which I'm sure you'd have already spotted. It's not exactly subtle. This was a present from my wonderful wife, and I've got to say, so far I'm loving it. It feels quite good as well. It's not just the looks; it actually feels quite sweat wicking and comfortable. So hopefully it'll be good for the race. I also got a new fan from my son for my birthday, which is it's going to be a real godsend in this weather. It's proper sticky, humid, muggy weather here in this in my little Payne conservatory today. So any extra cooling is more than welcome. So yeah, it feels like a long time since I've been on here. Obviously I did watch the Box Hell race. It was really frustrating. I didn't realise how much I'd missed the racing until I was out of one of the league races and happened to be a spectator, but I was desperate to get involved. It looked like such a good race. I do still have a vlog to edit and upload for that one, so apologies. Again, I've been kind of out of action for a while, so it's everything's had to take a back seat, including my workload, which is what's pushed everything else even further back, so I've got to catch up with work. So but I'll get that up as soon as I possibly can. The league table, the race results and everything else for the website as well. Obviously I'm aware that they're seriously out of date. I do have it all scribbled down. I just need to put it all into some kind of legible format and upload for you so you can all see that, which again I'll do when I get a chance. Well, my glasses are slipping down my face with the sweat. Very annoying. I've still not had time to put bar tape on, as you can see, which is why I've got the towel draped over this way, just for a little bit of extra cushioning. But it shouldn't be a major problem. I'm looking forward to it, despite the fact that I've done 7.5 kilometres warm up now, pretty gently, but with the occasional sort of high cadence push for sort of 30-second stints. It could work one of 2 ways. The optimistic view is that the week's rest will mean I'm fully recharged and I'm going to have an absolute blinder today on this race. The realistic view is that I'll be burnt out by the top of the first climb. This is going to be another one of those videos where I'm apologising for my pitiful performance, but I'll do my best to stay positive and try and make it entertaining at the very least. So I've now got 11 minutes and 5 seconds until the race starts, so I'm going to end my warm up here, jump straight onto the start pen, and I will be back in a moment. Alright, here we go. We're in the last couple of seconds. I've left this a bit late to get going, and we're off. I'm not sure I got enough power in. I wasn't winding up the power early enough for the start, but good luck everybody. That was a bit of a frantic last couple of seconds for me, trying to get the recording on and get my microphone set up, but we're away. Good luck. Alright, I'll run through the names of everybody that managed to jump in just in time. We got Egg Pan, and then Catherine Denton, who I think may have had a bit of problem getting off the line. She wouldn't normally be that far off the back. We got myself, then A. Runninson, D. Hansen, J. Hocheder, I'm going to go with. We have Keith Denton, Len Capel, Han Summerson, Darren Hunter, Peter Wilson, P. Wakefield, B. Roden. Who am I missing? Did I say D. Hansen and A. Ronanson? I think I did. Right. What's nice is nobody's gone absolutely hell for leather off the start, so we can all sit in a nice little group for a while and just cruise around. I do feel for Catherine, who clearly had some kind of problem. She's now putting out 4.5 watts per kilogram. Obviously looking to close back in as soon as she can. Obviously it's a pretty long race, so there's plenty of time, and the ability that she has, I can't imagine it'll be a problem. So Peter just confirming what I thought about quite a lot of the riders, saying he literally clipped in with 3 seconds on the clock. Good man for getting on and managing to get off to a start that keeps you in with a bunch. Whoa, Len Capel, 8 watts per kilogram. Is that a kick to push away, or is it because he's... Actually, I think it's just because he's getting a little bit detached. So in actual fact, that's something I'm going to have to follow, unfortunately. Darren's done the same, Darren Hunter. Whoa, Hans has gone for a bit of a burst. Oh man, this is... They're all just trying to get rid of me, I think. I shouldn't really be hanging around at the front of this bunch. Oh no, I've lost everybody. Network dropout. Oh, come on. I seem to remember having quite a few issues with this in another race recently. Yeah, apparently I just got the green jersey. But there's no way I did. So where's everyone else? Oh, this is terrible, because I know that I'm going to pick connection back up and everyone will be way up the road. Let's just try and sit at my kind of power for a while. 2.5 to 3. Look at that, 12 seconds off now. Jesus. Ah, that is so disappointing. Oh, look, Catherine. Catherine's pulled right back in. Good job. There's Keith coming past me now. And Peter. Right on my wheel. Alright, I've got to get that out of my head. Just concentrate on what's happening now. Thank you, Brian, for the ride on. I will fire some back in a minute. And Mr. Denton, thank you, buddy, for the ride on. We're closing in on Catherine now. Cheers, Stuart, for the ride on. I know you couldn't make it back in time to race, so apologies for the timings. But thanks for the ride on anyway. So that group I was with are still holding around 13, 14 seconds ahead, because I think, thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Denton, we're pulling some pretty good pace here. But I don't know how long I'll be able to hang on. I'm just sitting on Peter's wheel at the moment, I can see Darren there just a minute behind. At this stage in the race, that means absolutely nothing. We had no climbing yet, and could well be a very good tactic with regards to negative splits. Cheers, hands for the ride on. I'll try and fire some back now. I really don't want to lose touch with this group. There's Len, he's just dropped off the back of his bunch a little bit. I wonder if he's thinking about coming back to our group. Let's just get back to me quickly. That's all right, I'm still in there. Thank you, P. Wakefield from PRS for the ride on. Yeah, we pulled Len back in. There he is. I think he decided not to try and hang with that group at the front there, and has teamed up with us. Ah, look at that power drop. No way. Come on. I've got a heart rate. Right, the power looks like it's actually gone. So this may not be a Zwift problem at all. This might actually be a tax problem. Right, I've got power again. There we go, we're back on. Don't know how far behind I am, but there's still points. So let's give it a go. Right, Darren 28 seconds ahead of me, but he's now knocking out 3.5 watts per kilogram. Oh, come off it. Right, I've got solid green light. What does that mean? It's usually blinking, but that, to me, sounds like a problem. Let's unplug it again. Let's leave it for a minute. Well, not a minute, a few seconds. Oh, guys. Maybe I should have postponed this race after all. I seem to be having serious trainer issues just recently. Alright, let's go. Come on, just give me that flashing green light, that's all I want. Right, we're flashing green. Let's see if that equates to any power. It does, for now. Right, here we go. No, solid green light. Oh man. It's still worth me getting back in this race. Yeah, it's turned off again. As soon as I start moving. Right, it's game over for me, guys, so let's get back to spectator route. So we've got D Hansen. Other than me, bringing up the rear with Jay Hoshida ahead of him. So I need to somehow, how do I get to the other guys? Right, Brian, this isn't, that's not 23rd Street, is it? That KOM. And then, so next up should be Darren Hunter. But I think the only way I can do this is by coming out of the game, and then going back in and selecting to ride with somebody near the front of the race, and then I'll have to try and follow you guys that way, as I did with the previous race that I was watching. There's Len. Let's go. Come on. Oh, so sensitive. Right, let's go and ride with Len. Now he was with Peter Wilson and myself. they've pushed on, quite rightly. Where are we on the course here? So hang on, is this coming up to the end of a lap? Yeah, it looks like it is. Right, okay. Right, so let's quickly grab hold of Len. Stop it. Stop it. Where's he gone? There. Right. Okay, so I've got Len. He's coming up to complete a lap. Now, I can't see Peter anywhere there. So I'm wondering if Peter is ahead. Let me have a look at their course lap times. So Catherine did the fastest lap, followed by Keith, and then Hans, and then Brian, then P. Wakefield. So good lap times there, guys. Right, okay. Right, so Peter may, I'm assuming, was behind Len, because we've now caught up with, here we go, we've got Hans Summerson, P. Wakefield, apologies Mr. Wakefield, I can't remember your first name. I could have a guess at Peter, but I'm not going to. Then we've got Brian Roden, and here is Catherine Denton, and I'm assuming Keith's in there. Yes, Keith is here as well. So there we go. Here's the front group. So Peter was just behind, somewhere behind Len Capel. So we'll keep an eye on this for a moment. I didn't see anybody's 23rd Street climbs, but the way I'll do it from the Strava segment anyway, so it won't matter. So it's going to be, just a reminder, it's going to be the combined time from your 3 climbs up 23rd Street. And this is becoming a real pattern here with the bees, that these 4 riders are stuck together until the very latter stages of the race. I cannot believe, I don't know, I think this could possibly be terminal, whatever this problem is. I've thought that before, twice before, where I've had major problems, one of which involved taking it to pieces and getting the soldering iron out, if you remember. But I don't know, I'm not convinced that that's going to be the answer this time. It might be that I try and send it back to Tax and see what they can do. I know they're really good. Their customer service, all reports that I've seen, has been absolutely fantastic with their sort of after sales care. So fingers crossed. I know it's a couple of years old now, but fingers crossed they'll send me whatever the faulty part is. Right, so we've got Keith just pushing out the front. No, Catherine is 3 seconds up the road. Let's go and have a look at Catherine. If you remember, Catherine was 34 seconds or thereabouts that she dropped from the start of the race. So she's dug deep to make up that time, and now got all the way to the front and is actually pushing a few seconds ahead of the lead group. So this is impressive stuff. So I might as well keep my legs spinning for a little bit anyway. It's not going to record it as any actual miles, but it gives me a bit of extra exercise. If anyone has had this this situation where the light, where it's usually flashing green on a Tax Vortex, usually flashing green, then it went off completely, so I restarted it. I say restart, basically pull the power cord out and put it back in again. Then it seemed to work until I started putting power through the trainer, and the light would go solid green and no power would be transmitted. And now the light has gone completely and no power is being transmitted. So if anyone's familiar with that issue and can let me know what how they resolved it, if they resolved it, please leave a comment below. That'd be really appreciated. I'm looking here. It looks like P. Wakefield might have just dropped off the back of this group now. Is he going to push hard to get back on? So look, the bunch are doing, well, at the front of the group, Catherine's doing 4.5 watts per kilogram. P. Wakefield, well, he's pushed it up now, 4.9, so maybe he's putting a chase on. He's only 2 seconds off the back, so it's worth kicking in now, just to try and keep hold of them. That orange S-Works looks good with the orange WKG kit. I'll have a look further back in a moment to see how Len, Peter, and hopefully if I can see Darren as well, see how they're getting on. But I'll just wait to see if Pete Wakefield manages to close back in on the lead group. Okay, well, I think that answers it. He's dropped down to 2.5 watts per kilogram. He's now 6 seconds off that group, so it'll take one hell of a push to get back in there. But good effort anyway. Let's go and quickly see if I can. Actually, no, I don't want to do that, do I? Because they're going to change course. I could end up going up the wrong way. Right, I'm going to stay with this front group for a little bit longer. Sorry, Len, Peter, and Darren, and the other guys that are sort of further back on the course. I'm not meaning to ignore you. It's so hard to keep an eye on everybody, and it's so easy to lose touch completely and then have to come out and log back in again to have a chance of viewing anybody.
All's in fear is fear itself. Check out your...
I've yet to see anybody's 23rd Street time, even from that first lap, so I'm completely in the dark of who's been attacking it, going for those bonus points. I've been having to think about the Winter League as well that we're going to do. I'm toying with a few ideas, one of which was like a team league, but I'm not sure how well that could work, given that obviously again we're dealing with different time zones and different work schedules and all the rest of it, so it would be unfortunate for one team to sort of be consistently losing a rider for certain events, etc. So I think we'll keep it individual again, but I did like the idea of a team one, similar to when we did the team time trial where we picked the teams at random. I actually really enjoyed that event. I thought it worked really well. But assuming we stick to an individual league, I think, and please leave your comments on this because any advice and help is always really appreciated, but I think I'm going to make it a pre-register league and cap the number of rider spots in each category. So you can't join the league at a later stage, basically. Still be the same situation where it'll be a certain number of races and only a certain number of those races will count towards your league points. But I just think it'll be good to have every rider's name registered and logged right from the start, so you have a league position, which obviously from race 1 will start alphabetically, and then we just go from there. So we haven't got people turning up just for the last 6, 7, 8 races of the league or whatever. So I'm keen to do that, and obviously it's a better way of, I think, a better way of ensuring that we get decent numbers for every race if we take a little while to promote it, and the fact that it's pre-registration, and try and get some commitment from as many riders as we possibly can. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. It's really just an idea at this stage. It's possible a lot of you guys will be thinking, nah, I can't wait for this league to end. I'm not going to jump into another one, but I'll be surprised. As the weather turns, obviously numbers will pick up over here in the northern hemisphere, and I would imagine, I'm hoping, we could get some pretty strong fields for each of the four categories. I was also thinking, I don't know how it would work, but I was also thinking of a kind of sort of promotion point as well, promotion stroke relegation. So say the halfway point of the league, anybody consistently punching well above their category that was determined at the start of the race, start of the season, will be promoted, and vice versa. And it's really difficult with the point situation, but what we could do is what we've done with obviously Hans Petter Summerson. It was quite a unique situation because his figures were skewed by the fact that his trainer wasn't working properly and all the rest of it. It certainly wasn't anybody trying to manipulate the category system. But we could do it where we, for example, if you're moved from a C to a B, you take over half of the points you've earned in that category into your new category, and likewise, if you went from a C to a D, you take over half of your earned points for the second half of the season. It might not be a bad idea. It's just so difficult to to gauge, because we did everything we could at the beginning of this league to base it on the sort of previous 5 or 6 races, set a category then. Everybody has been progressing, some more than others, obviously through commitment to the races and just sheer hard work and dedication to their workouts. But the idea really was quite simple, that you base it on what your ability is at the start of the league. If you improve, fantastic. But as I mentioned, you can't really cater for any sort of technical discrepancies. And as I'm waffling on, what's happened here, I'm not even paying attention. I'm still watching Hans, as he's actually made a break for it. Has anyone gone ahead of him? Or is that Hans now taking the lead? Because there is Catherine. Yeah, so look, we've got Catherine Denton. How far back? Let's have a look. Right, so Hans is 16 seconds. He's got a lead of 16 seconds. This is good stuff. Back to Catherine, who's got a lead of 11 seconds over Keith, who's 2 seconds ahead of Brian. So it's starting to split up here. Now let's get a look at some of these 23rd Street times. So Hans did 34.2. Keith did a 29.5. Was that Keith or was that Catherine? Oh, I didn't catch it. Oh no, Keith did 33.6. Hans is on 34.2. So I think that must have been Catherine that did a 29.5. That is crazy. Alright, what's Hans on here? On for here. This looks like he's putting some decent power again. So it's pretty fast. So 38.6 was his previous. This one, he has got it in. He wasn't 38.6. What am I talking about? I'm talking utter nonsense. Anyway, looks like it's around 35-36 seconds per climb for Hans. Catherine, alright, Catherine's on 38.5. So, looks like Keith is the quickest at the moment, 32.9. Am I missing anybody? No, 32.9 seems to be the quickest on out of our front group so far. But again, it's the combined time of all 3 of those climbs up 23rd Street. Hans rocking a nice pair of Argyle socks there, looking sharp. Where's Brian? So it very much got split up over the 23rd Street climb. Yeah, Brian now 30 something seconds, actually more than that, made that 53 seconds behind Keith and Catherine. There's P. Wakefield, still going strong. Good job. 44.05 up 23rd Street. I think that's Brian just behind him at 45.4. I can't see Peter, Len or Darren there yet. I didn't even get to the climb. That's so disappointing. I didn't even get to do it once. I've got a solid red light on my trainer now, by the way. There's Peter. Okay. Right. Peter's 29.7k in. Still putting out some decent power. And Len is 28 seconds behind. Alright, so this is hotting up. Peter looking very similar to Hans on the bike with the face fungus. I think they've got the same bike as well. Alright, let's see what Peter can do using the aero to get a little bit of momentum into this climb. 5 watts per kilogram.
Check out your own backyard before you check out someone else. Railroad track in my name.
Right, 38.5 on this lap. 46.3 Len did on 23rd Street that time, which was, I think, a couple of seconds faster than his previous lap. Let's also go and see if we can find Darren Hunter now. I keep seeing this rider, Oxted Cycle Club. Now, Oxted is literally a stone's throw from where I live, and I see their real life riders all over the place. But I did try and reach out to D. Tyler of Oxted CC just to see if it was the same Oxted CC, but I've not had a response. Anyway, going to stay with Peter. Sorry, Darren, I can't find you at the moment. I will try again. So I'm assuming now the other guys, the front group, are now on their final lap. The front group of Hans, Catherine, Keith and Brian. I'll wait until Peter's crossed the start-finish line before I go looking for them. And another lap completed for Peter. 26.5 for that lap. Sorry, 26.51. Talking in minutes, not seconds now. So. Right, see if we can get back to the front of the race. Jesus Christ, riding. Not really putting out the kind of wattage I'd expect from the Almighty. Aha, Mr. Roden, right. So Brian, yes, he had dropped off the back of that group a bit, hadn't he? So he's 36.6 kilometres in, still putting out over 3 watts per kilogram, and looking good for what would be 4th, am I right? 4th place in the B category. So Peter is the leader of the C category, with Len and then Darren. I can't even take I don't even finish, so I don't even get points for coming last in this one, which is a joke. It is not my fault at all, but rules are rules. Crikey, I'm going to struggle to find anyone with this. There's a really big pack ride going on. These are great, these rides, by the way, the pack rides. There's my old buddy, Mr. Stockvik. Right on, my friend. Right, anyway, I'm trying to fight my way through these hundreds of riders. Hey, is that Stuart? Yeah, he's in the pack ride as well. Hey, good to see you, Stuart. Right on. Mr. Stuart Woodsell. There's Lars Elmkjaer as well. Although I don't think I've ever pronounced your name right, Lars, but I'm sticking with Elmkjaer. So let me know if I'm doing that horribly wrong. And there we go. Right. So I'm with Hans. I'm assuming he's still the leader of this race. No, he is not, because up the road we have Mr. and Mrs. Denton. Right, let's stay with these guys. I'd really like to have seen how that happened, where Keith and Catherine, obviously Hans had put a massive kick in, had managed to pull, I think he'd got to about 30 seconds ahead if I remember rightly. And obviously Keith and Catherine have closed that back in and put another 25 seconds into Hans, so that must have been a seriously strong effort. And I wish I'd seen that happen. Now, does it mean that Hans has been saving himself for this final round of climbs? Or is this where Mr. and Mrs. D really stamp home their authority in the Cat B? I've just checked the forum. It looks like Darren's retired as well. And just read quite a funny post from Brett Smith, who's watching this, obviously one of the main competitors in the B category. Obviously slightly frustrated that he can't race, and he's watching what looks like Keith D picking up all the potential bonus points in that category while he's unable to do anything about it. Although I'm looking also here, Catherine's put 11 seconds into Keith now, and they're coming up to 23rd Street now, so Catherine is already on it. Let's have a look. There we go. It was on that descent Catherine managed to really gap Keith, and she's coming up 23rd Street. Keith actually has pulled right back in, it's just a second off now, and actually putting out some really good power. So here we go, we can see, oh, Catherine's dropped the feather. Was that Catherine? Oh no, it was Keith, I think, with the feather maybe. He's flown up there, so yeah, this is looking like some decent bonus points for Keith, as well as potentially the win in the category. I'm looking Hans now. Look, Hans has pulled back to within 3 seconds of Catherine. So a real strong push. There we go. There's Hans just coming over the top. Catherine just a handful of seconds up the road, and Keith another handful of seconds further on from that. So it's not all done and dusted yet in the B category. I can't see Brian. I don't want to risk going any further back because I want to keep an eye on the front of the race. So apologies, guys. But I really don't want to lose sight of the three that look like they might be fighting right to the line here. If Hans has kept something in his pocket, let's have a look. Okay, Catherine, right, Keith now has got 13 seconds over Catherine. Catherine's got 12 seconds over Hans. It's all going to come down to this final climb, see if anyone saved anything. And Catherine's putting out some decent watts at the moment. More than the other two main contenders. There we go, we're on this final climb now. Let's have a quick jump back up here, see how close it is between Mr. and Mrs. Denton. Okay. I think Keith's got this. He's got 5 seconds. Catherine's putting out a bit more power, but Keith's got a pretty decent lead here. Let's see what Catherine's sprint's like, or if she's got a real push in her for this final part of this climb. I think it would only be only fair to give me whichever points Keith gets, because all the time I've been watching him, I've been pedalling, and in my mind, it's pretty much the same thing, surely. So I should just kind of take the win just by default. I feel for Darren, for whatever reason he's had to pull out, because obviously, hang on, 3/4 of the last lap done, Zwift crashed. Oh no, who is that? Oh, I can't see who that is. I'm not on the mobile link. That's going to be, that could be Brian, couldn't it? Because I was looking for him. That could be Brian Roden. Oh, well, whoever it is, that's worse luck than me, because you've put all the effort in. At least mine happened before I actually had to really work. Oh, that's terrible. Alright, what are we looking at anyway? Keith here, Catherine still 5 seconds. I'll tell you what, I mean, we're on this final false flat. Has she got it in her? What's the power? Catherine 3.6, Keith 2.8. Yeah, Keith's got this one. Here we go. Last few hundred metres. Great job, Keith. I wish I'd seen where you and Catherine had pulled Hans back in. That must have been some serious push. But congratulations, my friend. That is an excellent ride. A very hard-earned win again in your category. It's brilliant stuff. Let's give him a ride on as he comes over the line. Excellent. Let's catch Catherine as she comes over the line, or is she already over? Have I missed it? I think I missed it. Well done, Catherine. Great stuff. Let's give you a ride on. That's second place. Where's Hans? Where is? Don't tell me it was Hans that pulled. That's crashed. Surely not. Surely not. Or has he already come over the line? No, there he is. Whew. Great job, man. Picking up third on the podium, third overall, and third in B category. Another brilliant ride. You guys push each other so hard. It's pretty impressive. Every category is the same, but it just seems I managed to catch sight of the top of the B category really pushing. So great ride by you three. Obviously I will be checking the Strava times for the bonus points. I don't know who it is we're going to be missing, but whoever I come across next will tell a story, because it should be Brian Roden. Alright, that's BJ Afonso. Let's give him a quick ride on, even though he's not going anywhere. It's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not seeing Brian yet, so this is looking ominous. If the next rider I see is Peter Wilson or Len Capel, then we know Brian's had trouble. Ah, Mr. Wakefield, he's still going. Of course, sorry, I completely forgot again. I feel really bad. I don't mean to be ignoring you. But P. Wakefield looks like he's going to be coming home for fourth place. 47k in. I can't remember the total distance. Is he coming up to the final climb? Yeah, it's around this corner, isn't it? So he's done 23rd Street. What does that mean, by the way? I keep meaning to ask. The little, almost like Pac-Man shape next to Mr. Wakefield's name there in the KOM time. Looks like a little pizza with a slice missing. I've never known what that actually means. So if anyone can enlighten me, that'd be useful. So we'll watch Mr. Wakefield over the line. He's got this this last climb to go that drags and drags and drags. This is annoying. I must have done 30k riding like this, just at a very steady pace. But none of it's going to show on my Strava. So, but it's still there. It's still in the legs. Where I've been ill, I've eaten such, and because it was my birthday, I've eaten such utter rubbish for the last week. I feel desperate to get some good, healthy, low-fat, high-vitamin foods in me. I'm chomping at the bit actually to start some real training for Mont Ventoux, for our Mont Ventoux trip. And I want to see if I can work out some kind of regular, structured schedule with the rest of you WKG guys, so that would be the motivation for me to stick to it, if I'm doing it with you all. But as you possibly sense, I don't really have a sports science background, so structured workouts not really something I'm particularly au fait with, but I'm sure I could plagiarise someone else's workout sheet and label it up as a WKG session, and if we can get a few guys to regularly jump on for whatever it may be, could be the best way to try and lose a few pounds, build a little bit of endurance, stamina, a bit of leg strength before next April, when we take on the mighty Mont Ventoux. I tell you what, it's months away. Plenty of things are going to happen between now and then, but it's all I can think about. I am so excited, it's ridiculous. Okay, on to the final straight for P. Wakefield. That's a good ride, that's 4th overall. Good solid pace. And still got the little Pac-Man next to his name. But the gap, the slice that's been taken out of it is slightly smaller now, so I have no idea. Up in the power for a nice flourish over the finish line. Great stuff, buddy. Good ride. Yeah, that bike looks great. Orange S-Works with the orange kit. Very good. Right on. Well done. Right, so Mr. Wakefield's finished. Now let's go and see if we can pick up. Aha, Peter. Cool, only a handful of seconds down the road. That's a stunning effort. Nice one. Great job, Peter. You are our C category winner. I could have told you that before the race, to be honest. Need to keep some mystery and intrigue in these races, but that's a brilliant job. Well done, buddy. Right, is Len. So it wasn't Peter that dropped out. I'm thinking it is Brian, because I didn't see Brian. That's a real shame. He was looking strong, and also with a reduced field, there are a lot of points to be had. Right, so I'm going to keep looking for Mr. Len Capel. Aha, there we go. Great stuff, Len, on the final climb. Len riding what is starting to look like the official Team WKG bike, being a Tron bike with the orange wheels, although they're a bit too yellow, but that's all right. Speaking of bikes, I know Mr. Kev Stephen and Darren Smith have hired their bikes for the Mont Ventoux trip. Didn't want to risk putting theirs in bike bags. I think there's too many horror stories of them arriving at the other end in the other airport and in pieces. So I can't blame them for that. I'm driving down with Sean Lowe and Jason Arblaster, which should be a little adventure in itself. Nice little road trip, and we can pack our bikes in the car to keep them nice and safe. So thank you, Sean, for allowing us to do that and for organising the channel crossings for us. Actually, Darren, I should have mentioned it earlier. Happy birthday, buddy. What is that, 48, 49 this year? You're looking good for it. No, you're a young whippersnapper, but happy birthday, my friend. I should mention Peter and Len actually were very kindly going to wait for me when I had my power drop out. Because if it had been anything like when we did the Triple Crown, they seemed to only last for a few seconds and I was able to get going again, albeit made it a very stop-start event. I did manage to complete it, and they very kindly were going to wait and help sort of drag me around, I think, but not to be. I wasn't able to get going again. I'm really disappointed not to be able to try and consistently mix it with some of these guys, either through a lack of actual ability or technical problems as well now. Still got a solid red light on my trainer, so I think I'm going to be taking that to pieces tonight. See if there's anything there obvious that can be fiddled with. If not, be an email to tax, see if they can send out a new motor unit, brake unit, or whatever you call it. Right, here comes Len, second in the C category, and he crosses the line, the famous rainbow stripes right now. Great ride, Len. And I think in terms of league riders, I think that's it. There were some other names that I wasn't as familiar with, and unfortunately, because I'm not in the event, it's going to be really hard for me to find them. So my apologies, guys, that I'm not being able to give you the same kind of attention and coverage as the guys that I ride and race with regularly. But I'm just looking for orange and black jerseys at the moment and see if it's a name that I recognise from earlier on in the race. But I could be going around in circles forever. I do recognise this man here, Mr. Kim Little. Now, he was the winner of our very first official event, the Lava Laps 100, where we rode around for 100 kilometres, all at a steady pace. And everybody had to be behind me for the start of the final lap of the, the volcano counter-clockwise circuit. And then it was an all-out sprint won by Mr. Kim Little in the A category. So anyway, he's not in this race. Right, I really could be going on forever here. And in fact, it looks like I am going around in circles because there's Kim Little again. So I'm going to call it a day there. Apologies for the sort of hickledy-pickledy nature of these last couple of vlogs. Hopefully we'll get back on track soon. Also apologies for the lastminute.com arrangement of the event itself. I'm really grateful to Zwift and Alan Carr for actually getting it in the event module with about an hour and a half to go. Otherwise nobody would have been racing today, although that might have been a good thing from my point of view. But so thanks very much, guys. I don't know if you watch. I know Eric Min subscribes to my channel, so Eric, if you're watching, Alan Carr needs a raise. He did a really good job getting my event in the module. Yeah, so that's it. Sorry, it's a bit of a messy one. I will be editing this and finishing editing the previous one as quickly as I possibly can, and we'll get those up. I'm going to get the next event, which is the Salty Pretzel. I've got a feeling, because September's schedule has been released. I have not double checked, but I've got a feeling that doesn't work for the schedule, so that may be moved a day or two later. Oh, I don't know, because I've got this. Yeah, it's all getting a little bit compressed, but I'll get onto that one sooner rather than later, so everybody can make arrangements. Thank you very much, everybody that did turn up to race. Thank you, anyone that's watching. Thank you, everyone that's buying the t-shirts. It's still going really well, and I really appreciate it. I was going to use that money to go to Ultegra. Now, if you can just buy a few more, I could be looking at ETAP. So that's the dream. So no, I'm just kidding. But thank you very, very much for everybody that's been buying them. It's really lovely to have that support. And I will shut up and let you get on with the rest of your evening. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao.